another point is I don't think I run away because I know what I'm looking for. And yes, there is a way to find it here, but I just don't want to find it here. I talked to a psychologist and he said, you can find it here and you can start over here, but it will take you many, many years because you are in this environment and you are with this family and you are with this work. So it will take you a longer period. And if you want to go somewhere else and go faster, then that's okay. And it will be easier in another country.
Hello and welcome to ONEWARDS, your podcast about solo travel, new beginnings and the adventure of carving your own path. I'm Anja and today I have an inspiring story for you, Nelly from Belgium. Solo travel used to be completely out of the question for her. She felt uncomfortable, had trouble setting boundaries, and after spending 3 days locked in her hotel room in Cape Verde, she swore she'd never do it again. But life had other plans. When her daughter moved out, Nelly found herself longing for the sea, warmth, and a fresh start. At first, she thought this was only possible with a partner, until she took another solo trip, and that trip changed everything. Now she's selling her house and moving to Spain. How did she get there? What challenges did she face? And what has she learned along the way? Find out in this episode. Enjoy! Hello Nelly, welcome at ONEWARDS.
Hi Anja, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Nelly, I always start with the same question, and that is, what does traveling mean to you?
What does traveling mean to me? It's so much actually. It's about freedom. I think it's a lot about freedom, and not only the physical freedom, like going where you want, but also freedom of mind and freedom of emotion. Because I always feel like I can start over in a way. It's like new places, new people, new culture, new environments, and all those new beginnings give me like a fresh start feeling, and it gives me so much energy. Like I love all the stimuli you get from traveling. I love meeting people. I love the confrontation with myself while traveling, because you always sometimes end up in places or with people that's out of your comfort zone or something that you didn't plan to be in. And then it's always like, okay, how do I deal with this? And for me, it's a lot. Traveling means a lot.
So Nelly, where are you from and how did your traveling life started?
So I'm from Belgium, and in Belgium I already moved like 17 times. So I'm a traveler in my own country. But still, from a young age, as soon as I got away from my parents, as soon as I was in college, I felt like, oh my God, I love traveling, and I started traveling from my, I think, 20s. And from then, 3-4 times a year, at least, to always to different places, different countries, because just to have new experiences. I sometimes traveled alone when I was not in a relationship, but it's just now that I realize and I feel like the difference now, solo traveling is a lot. It's a lot different than 20 years ago for me. And it all depends on how I am feeling. It's like now I'm more self-assured, and the traveling goes so much easier and so much like, relax. And that's for me a difference, a big difference between the solo traveling like 20 years ago. I also travel a lot with my daughter since she was very little. I took her already to all different places. And I think she will be traveling a lot from now on her own. I don't have it from my parents. It's something, I don't know from where I have it, but
I just read recently that there is something called the wanderlust gene. So you have something in your genes that makes you want to experience foreign countries, which I think is very funny.
I loved it. That's totally fine. Okay.
But maybe when you say you don't have it from your parents, so maybe
Yeah,
I don't know if
maybe I have
that
the
is in your
wanderlust
genes.
gene. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Nelly, when you told me your story, you also wrote that you, in your 20s, when you were solo traveling, there was a point when you said, "Oh my God, no, that's nothing for me. I don't want to do this anymore." Was there a special experience, or why did you feel that way?
Yeah, it was always a confrontation, and it's more like in Africa or in the most confrontation I had in Africa or in Morocco was also like the confrontation with the people, mostly manly people. I felt really insecure and always like overwhelmed. It was like I could not set my boundaries. So I remember once in Cape Verde, I stayed for 3 days in a little room because I was not scared, but I was fed up with all the attention from people. So I just stayed in my room and I wouldn't go out because I couldn't take the confrontation anymore. And that was like, okay, why? What am I doing here? What if I look at it now? It was just my own insecureness because, like now, just could say, hey, just leave me alone. I'm okay. You don't need to bother me. So that was the most difficult part for me, that they would not leave me alone. I could not go on the street without harassing or of people following me. And that was really, I found it very tough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you have the experience as well when traveling, say, with a girlfriend? So I can imagine it's different if you travel with a male person by your side, but two women, was it also different? Mhm.
Also, yeah, because in that just now with my daughter, we went in to Gambia, and I don't say it's from bad people, not at all. It's just we are not used to the way they act towards tourists or towards women. But with my daughter, it was like, oh my God, we couldn't go out of our room because then there were 3, 4, 5 people standing around us. Uh, Offering all those services we didn't want. But my daughter just, hey, mom, just cut it off and we will not let them rule our vacation. And yeah, she just pointed at me like, get your confidence up and go out and try not to bother, because that's a thing in our mind. When I was bothered and I felt, oh, but two women, it was also, was also more difficult than with a man. That was totally different. Then I never had that experience.
I get that. I also felt at times uncomfortable when it's very noticeable that you are a tourist or a foreigner. So when you stand out, you always get like you are always looked at. And this is a very uncomfortable feeling because because I also like to be the person who like not looks at other people, but be like, just experiencing everything from the side and not being like the main center of attention. But also traveling to Gambia, this is not a very touristic destination, I would say. How come you go to those places?
Oh, it's it's always, we go with the flow. Definitely the last years. Gambia was because it's a little bit stupid, but my passport was not okay for traveling to other continents, and Gambia was okay for traveling with my just passport from Belgium. So we could go there last minute because it was just a last minute trip we took. So we end up in Gambia, and also I gave my daughter a few choices, and she never was in Africa before, and because that was something for, okay, let's go there. Then I have some new experiences, and it was lovely. Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter is almost 18. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
grown up.
Yeah.
Did you also travel with her, like only the two of you when she was little? Like,
Yeah.
at what age did you start?
Oh, then I have to think about, yeah, she was very little. We started off, I think 4 or 5 with camping. Yeah, camping trips. That was the first thing, in Europe. And then, it always gets further and further. Yeah, I took her everywhere then. Yeah.
And what places did you travel together?
We did Greece, we did Ibiza, we did Cyprus, yeah, France with a van. We traveled around with a van. Holland. Oh my God, I think I will miss a few, but at once I started to place pins at countries where I was, and I found, oh, but I think, oh, there I was also, and also, so it. I think I have to make a list.
It sounds like you
Yeah.
traveled a whole lot of the world already. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any favorites? Like, is there a region you like best, or a country?
I love Ibiza, not for the party side. That's for the younger generation. But there is some vibe and some energy about the islands that's so huge. It's so magical. That's why I love. I went there already 2 times. I will go back, and that's for me already something special, because I never go back twice, because there are so many places and I want to discover so many as I can. But Ibiza, I will go back for sure.
I get that there are so many places, but for me right now, I have traveled a lot, but I like to go back to places now because I stay longer, also because of my work. But
Yeah.
there has been, like we talked before, a change in your traveling life too. So you're now
Yes.
again a solo traveler. So what happened there?
What happened? A lot. The last months were so like a roller coaster, but okay, that's also part of my life. My mind and my whole being shifted from, I'm at a place and with a job I like and I will grow old in it, until it totally shifted, and I was like, I have to go out. I have to break out. I'm stuck. I had a feeling like I was stuck. And I thought, okay, I need to go traveling to get new ideas, new inspiration. But then I felt didn't have enough money to do the things I wanted to do, and the only way was selling my home. And it felt like that's the right thing to do, because then I could break free and go find a place, because I don't think I will end up in Belgium again. But I don't know where I will end up. So I combine those two quests, or I don't know how to say it, and say, okay, then I sell my place. Then I have time and money to travel and to find my new home. Last month I was in Thailand, and when I came back 2 days later, I got an offer on my home, and now it's in a selling process. So it goes very fast at this moment, and I'm already looking forward to pack my things and start traveling again. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What brought that on? So do you now, looking back, know why you felt stuck? Or what was it that, like, from one day to another, or from one point to another, that you felt, okay, now I have to go?
All my life, I feel like I love growing. I always want to learn and to grow. So I like having or following courses just to know myself more and more, and also my the things I do. I'm now a massage therapist, but I feel like I love it. But there's now at this point something like, okay, I'm doing it like for 3 years now, 4 years. It's like, okay, what's next? And then there's something inside of me that starts bubbling. Okay, what can I do? Will I follow a course, or what can give me new inspiration, new meaning of my life, new direction. That's something, yeah. And normally I always find it in training programs. So there I feel like, okay, I can meet new people, I can grow, I can put it in my work, and then it evolves. But at this point, it was like, even my place is not enough anymore. It sounds so like a big ego, but it's not that. It's like, I want to do more. I can do more. And this place and what I do now is for me not enough anymore. And also to grow in that, you need money. And it was, okay, I don't have enough for the steps I want to do. So some say, like, did you have to sell your house? No, it's like, it was the best idea I could, I could have. Yeah. And I'm not afraid. So I'm someone who is not, because my parents say, oh, what will you do? And where will you live? And it's like, okay, we will see. It will grow.
So you don't have an idea where you will go after your house is sold, like a country, or is there the feeling that you don't want a base right now, so you just keep on traveling for the foreseeable future?
No, to be honest, I think I have somewhere in my mind and in my heart a base in Spain. It always pops up again. I already went there several times, but I did not found a place to settle. So that's one of the things I want to have time to travel around Spain to find, to explore different villages and there to find, let's hope, a beautiful finca. That's the dream.
Do you speak Spanish?
I'm learning. Yeah, I'm now at my 160-day streak. Yeah, so I'm learning Spanish. Yeah.
So I've never been to Belgium. Can you compare the two countries maybe a little? Like what's typically in Belgium? What is it that feels different in Spain for you? How do you experience it?
First of all, Belgium is lovely because it has all different types of nature in one little country. You can go in 3 hours from the seaside to the mountains. So that's so lovely. But the weather is one thing I have very difficult with. I like a little bit more warmer climate. In the winter, it's so gray and people are really struggling with that here. People are a little bit depressed. I feel it with all my customers. It's really a struggle to go through winter. And that's something I like to change. When I go to Spain, it's more outside living, more for me than more close to nature, because you're more outside, more close to people because people more live at the street and are more like coming together. Belgium is every individual on its own. For me, people are not laughing enough in Belgium.
Well, I don't think that's true. You laugh a lot.
I know, but that's the problem. I don't find my enough people. I always want to inspire people to laugh more. But that's for me, that's a big difference. The pace of the living in Belgium is so high, and in Spain it's more, it's less. And then how you say, the earnings are maybe like, okay, they are higher in Belgium than in Spain, but it's not that what I'm looking for. It's more quality of life. And I found it a bit I have now a little cottage in the woods. It has brought me so much, but at this point I feel too much isolated. I want to, reconnect and make relationships more. And so, I need to go outside more, but with this weather, it's like, oh, you just want to stay in and sit in the couch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's winter time. Spring is just coming. So it's just like, I get that. It's for me the same. I need the sun as well. What do you think will be when you go to Spain and then maybe find your finca and your settlement, will you then still want to travel? Or is it then like, okay, now I can?
No. No, I think I will always, and I will leave it open also, because I think wherever I end up, I still want to have the energy, the sparks from traveling. It's so nice to what it gives you, what it brings you. But I think I can, at that point, I can integrate it again in a new, a new life. The first idea I had was, okay, let's just go for a year or indefinite time, just traveling and don't look for a home. But it's something in my mind that says you also, you want a new home, you want a new place. So let's combine both and don't put a date or a time frame on it and just go with the flow and see where you end up. So I have a list with countries I like to visit and we will see when.
What is on that list? Tell us.
Oh, different things. It's going from like Mexico, Argentina with the horses. I love horses. In also Madeira, just for hiking. I love hiking. And then, Ibiza again. Greece, I don't want to go again because I visit a lot, and it's like also some cultural things. I feel like no, I have enough from it. Yeah. And then Robin said that Vietnam was also very nice to visit, so that I put it also on the list.
The world is your oyster. You can be like, I go anywhere now. It's very exciting.
Yeah, that's, yes.
But do
Yes.
you also feel a little bit scared sometimes?
Not scared, but more like excited and or a little bit anxious, like whoa. Yeah, it's mostly excited because I know I can handle some tough moments, and there are also okay. I think you can relate. We have moments of loneliness, but you're not alone. Just you feel, or moments that you say, "What the hell am I doing?" Well, it could be easier, but why did I do like this? But I think 4 years ago, I also had the idea for buying something in Spain. And at that point, I was too scared. And I said to myself, I cannot do this alone. So I printed in my mind is I need to have a partner and then I can do it. But it was always a dream. It was always a plan. And yeah, something shifted inside me. And at this moment I say, hey, I can do this alone. I don't need some partner. And there are so many people now coming on my path that are or leaving to Spain or living there, and then I have already some connections. So I don't feel alone.
Almost every time something like when you set your mind to it, then it will cross your path or you meet people that do like the same or similar things.
Yeah, I love it. That's why I also really want to stress out like, okay, I want to do this and then say yes to it, because then I know I open myself to it and then it will come my way.
When you were on your travels, like any travels, has there been other moments that were really like you met someone who put you in another direction, or as you said before, like the hard times you went through? When I ask you about special moments in your travels, what would come to your mind?
The last thing was like, why I'm sitting here. It was like meeting Robin. It was just on a day trip and we start talking. It felt so natural the way we talked, and from one thing came another, and she said, hey, do you want to go on the podcast? I said, whoa, where did that come from? I never did that. And yeah, these things, these small things, and now it's on top of my mind because I'm sitting here with you. But all those small things I get always in traveling, and it's also happening in life. But I think more while traveling, because I think I'm more open while I'm traveling, and so it more comes to me. I don't know, and all those little things I just love. I really, really, really just love the. Yeah, I think it's magic.
I think I have to explain it a little bit. So Robin is a mutual friend, I would say, and she also has been on this podcast a few episodes ago, telling about her life travel story, because she became a digital nomad and like went really for a long time to Thailand to see where everything's going. And I don't know exactly, where did you meet, in Chiang Mai?
It was no, it was Pai. We were in Pai. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you start traveling, you get to experience how small the world can be, because I met people that are friends with people I went to school with. So, but like I met someone in Thailand that's from Canada that met a school friend of mine in Brazil or something. And I was like, how?
That's happening. I don't know how, but yeah.
Let's go a bit more into the emotional side, because you said you're a massage therapist now, but I think before that you were more in the corporate life, no?
Yeah, I had 20 years of experience as a project and people manager in a telecom company in Belgium. So it was a totally different life. I loved it there. So it was good for me, but until a moment, because I lost myself a bit, and I went from a little bit sick to a big burnout. It was very hard, but I'm so grateful for it that it happened to me. Yeah, because that made me change my direction and follow my heart more. But it was a very, very, rough period. I didn't know after that what to do or where to go, or it was hit rock bottom. And then, but from there, I had the time and the support also from the company, because that was something very beautiful they did for me. They supported me in so many ways in my recovery. And there I felt, okay, I have to do something else. I'm here for something else. I didn't know at that time immediately what to do. It just came naturally. Then I started to build my house, and from one thing came another, and suddenly there was like massage tafel and customers, and it was just very, very organically. And that's something then I learned, like, okay, if it flows, if it comes organically, then it feels so good, so right. So just follow that flow and sometimes surrender to that flow. And now because I love massaging, and I was like, oh, will I not miss it? What will I do? And that's one of the things Robin just in her conversation to me, she said, hey, but you can put a post in the Facebook group of Digital Nomads saying that you're there, and bring your table, and we will come to you. And it was like, oh, there are so many possibilities that our minds cannot comprehend at this moment. So I just, I started to believe in it and say, okay, it will come.
I suffered myself from burnout as well, so I can relate on that. And of course, it's like being overworked and having too much things, but it's also a big part of not doing anything that feels meaningful, or like it's too empty, or it was the thing for me. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah.
And I can imagine in a corporate environment that could be the case. But how, like, did you do massages before that already, or how did you become a massage therapist? So
I always massaged my friends and family. It was like, but I didn't know what I was doing. It was just, oh, I love it. Just, and then at one time I was still working at the corporates, and I said, oh, I will go to a course, so I know what I'm doing with muscle groups, or just to know what I'm doing with the bodies of someone else. And I loved the training. I loved the course. And I remember saying, if I could do this the rest of my life, I would be so happy. But at that point, there was no way I could do it. I just made a calculation and it was like, how can you manage financially with massaging? It's not adding up. At that time, my calculation was like, I cannot live from this. So, okay. And I just left it behind. And then my sister was a massage therapist, is still. She fell sick and she asked me, can you help me with some customers during the period I'm sick? Because then all the appointments to reschedule. I said, okay, I will do that. I can do that. Let's see what it brings. And from there on, I started massaging, and then she moved and she started her business on another place. And I had all her customers at that point. So it was like, okay, then I'm starting massages. And then it was from a place with my mother. And then I said, okay, I want my own place. And from there out, I built out a little company, and it was never calculated because the calculations were not good, but it just flowed, and then it will work. It worked out. Yeah.
Won't your customers be very sad when you're leaving Belgium?
They were yesterday still. They were crying. So it's it's not easy, But I have a friend here that also do massages, and I refer them to her. So I just not leave them totally in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a process to say goodbye to them, and they to me. I get these little gifts now. It's so beautiful. And then I say for everything is a time. So maybe it's also time for them to do something else or meet someone else. Yeah.
This saying goodbye is also for people that travel a lot. Is a very common thing. We have to say goodbye to people who meet like on a constant level. How do you feel about that?
I don't think it's very difficult. I keep them in my heart. I cannot explain it in another way. Years ago, I would say I would do anything to hold on to them. So when I meet people, I would try to keep in touch but now I'm like, oh, she or he passed in my life, and I bring something to the table. They bring something we shared something, and then we move on, and they're in my heart, and I have the experience, and I'm somehow okay with that. Because I know if you really want to, you can always reconnect. You can always go to places. You can, it's not like I'm enjoying it. It's just a little moment of, this was beautiful. But then I start remembering all the beautiful things, and then I got a little smile on my face and move on. Yeah.
It's also I think a very big part of growing to be able to do that. What you now explained, like to let go and appreciate it for what it was and being very present. But as I said, it often takes a lot of work to get to that point. Did you have to do work, and how were maybe you have some routines or something you do that brought you there?
That's a big, long story. I try to make it short. I think I did a lot of work. I went to a lot of trauma. I did a lot of work in so many different places, like therapy, but also in family situations, like with the burnout, with my daughter's illness, with so many struggles. And every time you have to try to get up, and you learn something. I love life, so I have something in me that's really like, come on, you can do this. You have to go on. It will be better. There's something burning in me always. But the work was hard. I did ceremonies. I always a few years I worked with shamanic people a lot, learned a lot. Yeah, body work, breath work, yeah, so many things. And a few things I keep alive, like water brings me a lot. The cold water shower every morning. It's something I do every morning, even winter. It's cold water, and it's like takes every bad or energy that don't belongs to me. It takes it away, and I'm very grounded after that. Some breath work I also do on a regular basis. Those are the little things, but on the other hand, I have this backpack, figuratively, with the things I did, and I know when I'm in a certain kind of state when I need help, I can refer to or ask help there, or because it's now so widespread, the things I did and the people I met. And I know that there are so many things more. So I'm not afraid to go through the depths anymore. I don't know if you can relate to that. I feel that they become less deep. Life is flowing. Life is, the pits where you fall in, the hardness is not so hard, not so deep anymore. Or I can come out faster. It's not like the first burnout, I stayed in it like for 9 months or a year, and the things not take so much time anymore, or are not so, it hurts, and you feel like, oh my God, this is work, or another layer from the onion that is being peeled off. But I'm more relaxed and assured, like, okay, you got this, girl. You did so many things. Now, okay, you can do this also, and you will grow after it, and you will feel better after it. So yeah, just go right through it.
Is there something relating to solo travel for you? Like those experiences where you say, oh, with solo travel, I learned this and that, and I gained this perspective that helped me in other ways, like self-confidence, something like
that. Anyhow, the self-confidence, also the things that when sometimes you have situations that you didn't foresee. Like I booked an hotel. It was a wrong date. So I came there very late, and there was no room. I was like, uh-oh. So just stupid things. And then you're on your own. It's not like, oh, what will we do? No, it's like, what will we do? What will I do? And that's really an exercise to not go to panicking, or like, okay, we got this. What are the options? What those things I really learn while traveling. And now recently, I also learned that traveling and solo traveling gives me, I think I mentioned it in the beginning of the podcast, gives me the freedom of starting over again, and like I can be truly myself. I can be vulnerable. There are no family or work related situations that already put me in a box or in a way I behave. And that's for me so beautiful, and it's so much worth in it. Like, okay, who are you? And that gives really solo traveling the question over and over again: who are you, and how do you want to present yourself in the world? That's something that solo travel brings the question. It brings the question, but it also brings the answer, because you can give an answer at that time. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm now. This is me. Yeah.
being devil's advocate, some people could accuse you of running away, no? Because like, oh, you travel, it's getting hard at some point, and then you leave and you sell your house and you go someplace else. What would you answer those people?
Yeah, I have two answers for them because I also get those feedback a lot. One, so okay, if I'm running away from it, who cares? What's the problem? I don't harm anybody with it. So let me run away and found out what I'm running away from. Another point is I don't think I run away because I know what I'm looking for. And yes, there is a way to find it here, but I just don't want to find it here. I talked to a psychologist and he said, you can find it here and you can start over here, but it will take you many, many years because you are in this environment and you are with this family and you are with this work. So it will take you a longer period. And if you want to go somewhere else and go faster, then that's okay. And it will be easier in another country. So he supported that. And then another thing is like, I sometimes answer like, okay, you do it. It's not easy. Just do it. It's not easy running away and selling your house and leaving everything behind. It needs courage for that. So I'm okay with that. And it's like everybody has a vision on it and that's fine by me. Let them,
As like you, I'm also in my 40s. And I think being this age, you don't care that much anymore about what other people say. So it would have been a very different thing in my 20s. Or if I see people in their 20s being already this confident and like, I don't care and I will do, I don't care what other people say. I'm very astonished or like proud for them. So that they are able to do this early in life. But I think for me, it took way into my 30s to be really somebody who's like, okay, you say that, I don't care.
I think you were before me then because I just can't say it last year. So yeah, and like you say, it's I love it when younger people are already there, but because it takes a lot of time to get there. For us, it was a long way, but yeah, I'm also at that point now. Like it's not like I don't care. It's more like, okay, but that's your opinion. I have mine, and it doesn't affect me anymore.
Sometimes it's good, like if someone asks you a question you maybe haven't thought about or something, and then you can think about it. But I think for me, it's now I'm most of the time state of mind where I can detach it from myself and just look at it and ask me if that's useful for myself. And if yes, I take it in, and if no, I can let it go.
Oh, it's beautiful said. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking, just a quick question about your family. How do they feel about you leaving your country?
It was not easy. It was not easy. And it's more like they want everything for me so I can be happy. So it's not like they will keep me here or they are not mad. It's more like they are afraid and it's coming out of fear that they are like, oh, what are you going to do? And I've learned not to be too harsh and to like, leave me. I'm 48 years. Let me do my thing. I'm now learning like, okay, what can help you that I can tell you that can reassure that you're at ease with it. And so the trip to Thailand, I had the app Polar Steps. It was new to me. Yeah, it's an app and then they can track you. So they can follow you everywhere you go and you can put pictures or text on it. For my mother, she said she loved it and she had the feeling she could travel with me. I was close to her. And I must say, for me, it was also very nice because in a way I stayed connected and I know, okay, they know where I am. So that's something I will use in the future also to... it was for my mother. I started it up and now there are, I think, 26 or so followers. So it's something that people like. And then, yeah, that's a nice thing. But they are okay with it. So
maybe in a few years when you settled in Spain, they will then be like, oh, we have a daughter in Spain and we're now going to visit her.
They say it already.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Nelly, I would come to an end with our very nice conversation. And in the end, I always do a little this or that. So I give you like 2 words and you pick one or answer me the first thing that comes to our mind.
Okay.
Bed or breakfast?
Breakfast.
Ocean or lake?
Ooh. Ocean. Because of the whiteness of it, I guess. Yeah.
Jungle or desert?
Jungle.
Camping van or 5-star hotel?
Camping van for sure.
On the plane, the seat on the aisle or on the window?
It depends. I like the window to stare out of the window, but on the aisle it's easy to go to the bathroom. Then you don't have to hassle all the people. So I just like, okay, choose for me because I can't choose myself.
Very good. I think Robin said, yeah, if it's a short flight, I sit on the window. And if it's a long flight, I want to sit on the aisle.
Oh, that's a good idea. I will remember that. Thanks for the tip.
What does being alone mean to you?
Being alone is being with myself and getting some time to reflect, to recharge, because I really need some time alone. I love being alone from time to time. So it's nothing bad for me. It's something I look for. Yeah.
And being lonely?
That's something old. I used to, I couldn't make the difference between lonely or alone, but I'm not often lonely, not anymore. I'm very much, there are much days that I'm alone, but not lonely. Just it just slips in just from time to time, and then I think, where does that come from? What is happening to me? And then I'll do some self-reflection, and it goes away. That's part of life. But I'm not so much. I don't feel lonely anymore. No, with so many people, we are so connected these days. Yeah.
3 things that have to travel with you.
Okay. My cell phone. I almost lost it, and I thought, and then I was thinking like, oh my God, everything is on it. Literally everything. So that was like, uh-oh. And also on the cell phone, my music. I love music having with me, traveling alone. And then, I always have them with me, but there are some tattoos that remember me of my daughter. So I have her always with me also.
What would you tell someone who never traveled alone?
At some point, I would say just experience it, because it brings you so much. But in another way, I don't want to push people into something they're not ready for, because it's a choice and I leave the choice with everybody. But I would recommend it to everybody. Just try it at least once.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Nelly, I wish you the best of luck with selling your house and starting your new life. And hopefully in Spain you find the perfect place to be, or wherever else. Yeah. And I hope also we meet in person at one point and can continue the conversation.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was Nelly's journey, from fearing solo travel to making a bold move to the sea. I hope her story inspired you. If you want to follow Nelly and see more of her journey, check out the show notes for her Instagram. And if you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you shared it with someone who dreams of living by the ocean. It's the best way to support ONEWARDS and help others take that leap. Thanks for listening. See you next time, and don't forget, don't listen to us, go find out.